Hey everyone, welcome to weekday coronavirus-driven mind stuff. My name is George Ortega, and it is Monday, June 15th, 2020 at 2:28 p.m. And this is episode number, good guess, oh, let's see. What number is this? 40. I'm on a different computer. What number is this? Let's see. I don't know. It may be number 47. If it's not, whatever. So I hope you're doing well. Yeah, this is a new setup. Basically, I got this new computer, and because I was working from a laptop, and this, this has a much larger monitor, which is kind of nice. And so yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I was gonna have a guest today, but he didn't get in touch with me. I mean, he's yeah, we didn't finalize it, and I don't like to kind of like not know what's going on until the last minute. So if he wants to be a guest, he can come on another show, whatever. So anyway, I was thinking of, yeah, let's go through the headlines, because I mean, that's okay. So Supreme Court finds federal law bars LGBT discrimination in workplace. All right, well, that makes sense. I mean, you shouldn't be able to discriminate against someone because of their sexual orientation, right? Their gender identification, whatever. All right. Okay, NBC News. Supreme Court refuses to hear cases on qualified immunity for police. All right, now when I first read that, I was thinking, wait a minute, it takes 4 justices to get a review of that, and there are 4 Democratic justices, and Clarence Thomas was the only dissenter. And I was thinking, what's wrong with this? And then I read a little further, and this relates just to civil cases. In other words, a person can't sue a police officer for being abusive, whatever. But that's not to say that that the officer can't be prosecuted in a criminal court. So it's not a civil case, and okay, Supreme Court won't hear case on California sanctuary law. Good. Well, that's another defeat for Trump, because sanctuary is basically that sanctuary cities that were like Trump and his feds can't go in there and round up aliens and stuff. Okay, I don't want to hold this. Hold on. Okay, police killing of Rashard Brooks in Atlanta ruled a homicide. Yeah, that was like insane. I saw the video of that. So the guy, I mean, he was resisting an arrest, and he got a hold of one of the officer's tasers. And I guess, fortunately, I don't think he was able to use it. But, the salient part of this was that he was running away, and the officer shot him in the back twice. No, that's criminal, because basically his offense, why they had detained him, was that he was drunk in front of Wendy's. And I'm not sure he was even driving. He was in a car just drunk. So that was that was really wrong. Okay, Kudlow, Wall Street Journal. Kudlow urges replacing unemployment benefit boost with return to work bonus. Well, I mean, you got to understand, Kudlow, that some people don't want to go back to work because it's dangerous there, because the conditions are not healthy, to go back to work. On the other hand, return to work bonus. I don't know enough about that. I think ideally, for people, let me think this through. Replacing unemployment benefit boost. So that's, I guess, the $600 a week with return to work bonus. All right, no, again, I don't know what it's about. It's the Wall Street Journal. It's got a paywall. It's got like $35 a year. They're not getting that, sorry, because it's the Wall Street Journal. I mean, they're still denying climate change. Give me a break. All right. So Washington Post, Beijing carries out mass testing as coronavirus spreads in the Chinese capital. So this is kind of like a prelude to the second wave that we will probably be experiencing, sometime in the fall. Cases are already going up in several of the southern states who refused to distance, who opened up too early. So see how that works. Okay, what else? A portfolio of stocks being bought by mom and pop investors is trouncing Wall Street. Now this is like, sorry, I'm just like, I gotta focus. All right, hold on. All right, I'm not gonna because I'm reading and this, at least I'm reading the headlines from Google News and they're pretty bogus. Let's see what New York Times says. Okay, the LGBT ruling. What else? Okay, FDA withdraws approval of a drug that Trump was touting for COVID, which didn't work. No, I'm looking through the headlines and, all right, charging decision expected this week in Atlanta killing. Yes, okay. I mean, you can't shoot people in the back for for resisting arrest, for being stopped, being drunk in a car, and I imagine the car was stationary. It was in front of a Wendy's, apparently. Police chiefs are finding job security is hard to come by. Well, I mean, this is it's not their fault, quote unquote. There should be federal guidelines for what the police can and can't do. That's the reality. The police chiefs are, I mean, that's only half of an excuse for them. I mean, this kind of stuff, they should train their people better so that stuff like that just, I mean, that should have never happened. Shooting a guy in the back twice for running away for, being drunk in a parking lot. No, that's criminal. That's criminal. Okay. Okay, a war against climate science waged by Washington's rank and file. Yeah, well, this is about, it's interesting. They have this under the heading Trump administrations. First time I see that. Usually, they don't have a separate heading for that. The rising Trump lawyer battling to reshape the electorate. Okay. Huh. The rising Trump lawyer battling to reshape the electorate. He argued against affirmative action. I'm not sure what the Times is doing by promoting this guy. I don't know. I'm not going to well, yeah, I mean, they're basically trying to change the voting laws to give them an advantage. And, if the Times wants to run a piece on it, let them run a piece on exactly what they're trying to do and why it's wrong, criminal, unconstitutional. The guy who's heading it, I mean, maybe they're going to go after him, I guess, when they want to identify him so people could, know who he is. And, they bring the political forces down on him. That's the only thing I can think of. All right. Analysis. President Trump said he learned a lot from Richard Nixon, but he missed one important thing. The quote ends at Nixon, so whatever. Again, this is like, this is like political rhetoric, give me some news. Got about 17 minutes left. Well, this is going well, I think. I mean, if this guy who I was supposed to have on the show today, calls and I'm not doing anything, I suppose I'll wait a few hours before I upload this and send it to the studio. But I just don't like to keep, I like to have a certain kind of a plan in mind. All right, what's this? The Courtmartial of Donald J. Trump. I don't know what that's about. It's an opinion. Okay, opinion. All right, let's expecting students to play it safe if colleges reopen is a fantasy. Okay, the pandemic and protests have exposed the truth about California, whatever that is. Joe Biden needs to learn an urgent lesson. All right, so there's basically, I looked at this before, there is no news. They're not saying anything, beyond the Supreme Court stuff. Let's try the Washington Post. I mean, let's subscribe to both of these. Let's see, what's the Washington Post have to say? Okay. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Neither the Post nor the Times are dealing with the protests, with what the protests wanted, with this, like Congress just proposed, overhauling the entire police system, just a federal kind of mandate, and they should be leading with this. That's why, neither the Post nor the Times is nearly as liberal as they like you to believe. They're trying to preserve the status quo. Good luck with that. Okay. What else? What else? Yeah, these this is news, I guess. In New York City, I mean, like parts of the city, they're just like, they're flouting the distancing. They're out in the street just drinking, not distancing and stuff. And what are you going to do? Well, I actually know what I heard they were going to do is they're going to revoke the license of the bars who are selling them drinks, I guess, because they're out, they're going to threaten that. I mean, in other countries, like people people who threaten the lives of others like that are kind of like not allowed to, but like if they arrest these people, they're going to have to arrest the NFL and the baseball players when they could, like, and then and the Penn State, like these college players, because, like, again, football is a contact sport. It's not like so anyway. So that's a dilemma. What do you do with it? So like, yeah, you threaten the bar that's responsible, I guess. That's a tough one. Inspectors General, I guess there's more of them, whatever, more than one, warned Congress the Trump administration is blocking scrutiny of bailout programs. Yeah, well, that's the idea. Is like, they're giving a lot of money away, to these businesses, loans, giveaways, whatever, and they're not revealing who this money is going to, and that doesn't seem right. It seems like, for public knowledge, everyone every company, every individual, who receives something should be listed. Why not? Okay, opinions. Trump is in denial about his and others' health. I mean, like I saw that video of his, like, kind of like not knowing how to navigate that ramp, which is really funny. I mean, the guy's a klutz. And they're saying, well, there's something wrong with him. No, he's just an idiot. I'm sorry, but it's good they raise those questions, whatever. New questions about Trump's ugly Bible stunt hint at some dark truths. I don't, I'm not going to go there. You say something, you say it. I mean, Supreme Court bends to okay. Many voters are finally ready to see Trump canceled. Oh, that's very cute. Yes. See, this is a lot of rhetoric. I mean, like, liberals have been getting rhetoric from the press, from politicians for decades. Well, it's kind of like time for things to change, things to be done. The rhetoric is going to, like, deal with the COVID-19 or the economic meltdown. So, okay, the ultimate test of presidential character is restraint, I guess. I don't know. All right, so basically, there's really nothing else. Not much is being reported. I'm not going to say that not much is happening, but they're choosing not to say. And all right, so I'm guessing, like, the market just, tanked, about 2,000 points. They gained back 300 of it, and I think they want to try to gain back another 300 today. Let me see what that's about. But but the idea is, like, when New York Times and Washington Post and other papers publish these stories about the protests and the demands and how it's going beyond police handling of suspects to housing and poverty, and tearing down statues of Columbus. I mean, they're going to go after Washington first. I mean, next. Think about it. I mean, like, they want Columbus statues down because he decimated the indigenous people. I don't, I haven't studied it personally, but apparently that's what he did. And they want some, like, at colleges, some people who owned slaves to have their name removed from, like, buildings and things like that. And again, the outcome of that, if a person cannot be honored if they were a slaveholder, again, Washington, the founder of our country. So we're going to, that'll be interesting to see. And, hey, maybe we're just like, a world is evolving to a higher standard. We got to say, yes, granted, he was a good person for granting us our freedoms from the British, but, so I think you have to weigh the good and the bad. In other words, like, in the case of Washington, he did so much good that perhaps, the fact that he owned slaves would be allowed. I mean, because they all owned slaves. I mean, Jefferson, all these guys. So, but who knows? I mean, maybe we're moving into a world where none of them get honored, and we have this higher standard. And, like, to the extent we do that, Trump's modus operandi is, like, it's completely gone. I mean, like, you can't fight against that kind of a surge in morality. So, all right, I was going to look at the Dow Jones. Hold on. Up 200. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'm guessing. Because they could be reporting a lot more about what's happening with the protests, with the demands and all. There was another killing, I think, recently. So, all right, so got about 8 minutes left, and I'm really excited. I've got a great a great meetup, tonight. And I'm gonna actually, this is great because I can call up stuff on my phone and talk about it. So tonight, I've got a Zoom room open, a meetup event, and there should be about at least 10 of us because a lot of people RSVP'd. The title is Zoom, Let's Create the Ideal Religion, Mondays at 8 p.m. EDT. And the idea behind this is that, let me see can we create a new religion so popular that it virtually replaces today's belief systems? Let's give it a try. What would this ideal new religion look like? Our one premise is that because a God defined as everything eternal and all-powerful seems very much like our universe and its laws of nature, our one premise is that God, wait a minute, I better like that God defined as for the most part as follows by logic exists, and then have a link to the Wikipedia, definition of God. But I mean, like that sentence is grammatically, our one premise is that because a God defined, our one premise, all right, I repeat our one premise, but I gotta fix that sentences because I mean, like, I don't know what. Anyway, so after the Wikipedia link, what are God's attributes? What are our most important commandments? Do we all go to heaven when we die? Why is COVID-19 happening to us? These are just some of the many questions we'll enjoy exploring, and the rest of it is detail. So now I'm not going to edit this in front of you guys. I'm sorry. I'll wait until this episode is done. You got about 6 minutes. And what else? So I've been on Spotify. I was playing like classic rock music. Crosby, Stills, Nash, Traffic. Really good stuff. Cream. But anyway, I'm alternating between that and these psalms. These young kids for the most part, are just like they're taking either entire psalms, which is a bit rarer, but or some lines from the psalms, and they're very beautiful compositions. So like I'm jamming to them on bass, and that's going well. So just wanted to make sure this mic was working because I didn't check it beforehand. What else? So that group is at 9 o'clock, and between now and then, I only got 4 hours sleep last night, so I'll probably try to get a bit more sleep. Well, actually, I wanted to do some cooking. I soaked some chickpeas and lentils in water. I don't think you even need to soak the lentils. I usually don't make lentils, but I figured I wanted to. But anyway, I kind of like wanted to do those, but I may leave them until tomorrow. No, I should. I mean, like, I can rest. I may not sleep, but I can rest while they're cooking. And do I have anything else before 9 o'clock? I don't think so. Okay. So what else? Yeah, so I've been working with, like, because of the new computer, I've got the sound system going into it, and it didn't work all that well with the mic. I was, trying it. I have like a mini mixer, but it may work well with the bass guitar. Ideally go from my main mixer that I use for practice into this mini mixer and then into the computer, and that might have the sound come out decent, because like part of what I want to do is like jam for a while to my music, I guess, or just because copyright laws, royalty considerations would prevent me from jamming to like Crosby, Stills and Nash, or Pink Floyd or one of those super groups. All right, 3 more minutes. What else? What else? Yeah, no, I hope you're having a good day. And the world is changing. The world is changing majorly. And as much as people, would want it not to change, things happen in their time. When they happen, not a person can stop them. And that's what's happening. We're basically having to deal with this COVID-19, and people don't realize it, but the only way we're going to be safe from stuff like this is to end factory farming and the farming of animals. That's going to happen. People aren't going to have jobs, so we're going to have to create jobs. The Republicans are going to go down just like they went down. They lost 40 seats in the 32, 34, and 36 elections, three cycles, and they lost a comparable 40 Senate seats, a comparable number in the House. So we'll see, and we'll see how this pans out, because this is a major shift, And again, the kids are like, fed up with the racism, and then the white people and rich and poor people are all together on this. That's it's like, I think, what it is like we had a monarchy that Washington and Jefferson, those guys, kind of overthrew to create our democracy. And now, we don't have a democracy, we've got a plutocracy, a corporatocracy that's messing the future up. It's messing the present up. It's like, it's threatening, literally threatening the welfare, the quality of life, the life in many cases of people, in future generations. Like by 2050, New York might be as hot as Florida. This is serious stuff. Anyway, so like it's about 42 seconds left. I hope you're having a good evening. I will see you again. Oh yeah, this episode airs on White Plains Community Media channel 76 if you get Optimum, 45 if you get Verizon, and they have it on their website. And I'm making progress. I got up to, I think, episode number 30 on YouTube. So that's what I'm going to do now. I think I'm going to upload a few episodes while I make this food. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.